We're officially less than a month out from the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's hard to not be excited for it, unless you're not, which is totally fine, but we haven't seen a Nintendo system focus on power quite like this since all the way back to the GameCube. And even with all of the uncertainty about the Switch 2, I feel like even just having a more powerful way to play all of the amazing Switch 1 games out there still kind of justifies the purchase. But I will be honest, I'm gonna miss this little guy. We had a lot of good times together, even if this isn't my original Switch. So today, guys, I want to talk a little bit about all of the things I'm going to miss about the Switch 1 and just kind of the generation in general. Before I begin, I want to ask you the same question. What are you going to miss about Switch 1 as we head into Switch 2 and beyond? And if you guys do enjoy this video, I encourage you hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with more content just like this. All right, let's not waste any more time. So the one thing about Switch 1 that will just straight up never happen again is the novelty of when it came out. This thing was a game changer in so many more ways than one. It was everything Nintendo wanted the Wii U to be, and it wasn't. This wasn't just playing a game on your couch. This was playing console quality games anywhere you could go. And while today it doesn't feel like that big of a deal, 8 years ago, it was certainly something. We didn't have a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally, or hell, we didn't even have a Switch Lite and a Switch OLED. It was just one console, and it was such a neat, cool idea, and nobody had thought of anything like it, or at least had executed it as well as Nintendo did. There's a reason why Switch 2 is a numbered iteration. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and Nintendo absolutely saw success with what they were doing. Thinking back 8 years ago to when the Switch 1 came out, I didn't get it at launch. I got it around Black Friday of 2017, and in the following months, I just think back very fondly on the experience of taking these games with me. The one that sticks out, just like everybody else, was Breath of the Wild. I know there were other games at the time that had come out since that point, but Breath of the Wild, I have so many great memories of playing that on the go, of playing at my college dorm in bed. I remember taking it on a bus trip, and just, it was dark and we were stuck in traffic, and I didn't care whatsoever because I was playing Zelda and it was so cool. I had my headphones in. It was like I wasn't even on the bus. It was amazing. It was pretty much what those 2017 Nintendo ads had sold me, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the best thing ever. It's kind of like when something advertised to be really good, it gets hyped up to be really good, and then it actually comes out to be really good. That was Switch 1 for me, at least in that experience. And unfortunately, I just feel like that's not going to happen with Switch 2 because, you know, we've had this thing for a while, and we have the Steam Deck, and we have the ROG Ally. Switch was like a different level, and I feel like that's something we're just not going to have for a long time. The novelty of Switch 1 was just one of the best experiences I've had in gaming in my entire life, and that's something we're just not going to get with Switch 2. That's perfectly fine, but it's not something we're going to have again. Next up, I want to talk about physical game collecting, because I feel like things are going to change a lot in Switch 2. If you look at what we have right now with Switch 1, there is an amazing library of thousands of games, and thousands of them have physical releases. It's a fool's errand to try and get all of them, right? But you can definitely collect subsets of games that you love and make your own collecting challenges. There's just so much fun to be had in going and hunting for Switch games because the library is so varied. I got lost in collecting Switch games over the past 2 years, and it's been a ton of fun. I've grown my library a lot. Pretty much whenever I'm looking to play something different, I look at my Switch library, grabbing a handful of games here from my Switch overload, like my overflow section. Immortals, Phoenix Rising, Rune Factory Special, the Cowabunga Collection, 2K, House Flipper, Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, this is like, it's crazy how many different varied games you could have in just like one little handful like this. The library is insane, and for the most part, everything is on the cartridge, right? For the most part, I can throw in any game when I'm on the go and just install it or put it in my system, and it's not really a problem. Say I'm on the bus, like I just said. We're not so sure that that's going to work anymore. If you take a look at the Switch 2's third-party lineup at launch, almost all of the games are game keys, which require an installation, and they're pretty much a complete digital download. The only reason you need the cartridge is to complete the digital handshake that allows you to download the game off of the eShop. I applaud companies like CD Projekt Red and Marvelous for making more of an effort to be consumer first and putting their whole games on the cartridge. Somebody from CD Projekt Red even said they felt it was the right thing to do, which consumers absolutely appreciated. But will the game key situation actually get better? I'm not so sure. Who really knows at this point? Now we're learning that Nintendo's pretty much only offering a 64GB option with their game cards, so it looks kind of unlikely that this situation is going to improve in the short term. All I know is that things will not be the same in terms of physical collecting. There's going to be way more game keys. It's just not going to be as fun. It's not going to be as special to me, and I will lament that loss. And not only will games not be complete on cartridge on Switch 2, they're also going to run a lot better. And that sounds like a great thing, right? But I am going to miss the impossible ports on Switch. It kind of became like the cool thing to call impressive Switch ports the impossible ports. And it started pretty much since the Switch launched. We saw Skyrim on the reveal trailer and everyone was like, wow, it can run Skyrim. And then Doom came out and everyone was like, whoa, it can run Doom and it's pretty good, right? Like it didn't have the Forge mode, but it was pretty good. And then things went crazy. We had Witcher 3 and Doom Eternal came out and this was very good. I liked Doom Eternal on Switch. And then we got Hogwarts Legacy, which was really weird and a strange amalgamation of the original game, but it was cool. I thought it was really cool to see. But as I said at the beginning, the Switch 2 is going to be a lot more powerful. And so we're not going to have as much of the weird make it work ports that we did for Switch 1. It's going to be a lot more simple textures and blurry resolutions to make things work, but nothing really too game changing like making the whole structure of the game different in Hogwarts Legacy. This is like super personal for me. Obviously, I want everyone to play the best version of the game on whatever console they play. I just can't help myself. As somebody that loves the Super Nintendo port of Doom, and this was the first way I played this game, I can appreciate what goes into a weird port. And even if a port is weird, it doesn't take away from the quality of the game or quality of the experience you have playing the game. So yeah, I'm going to miss the impossible ports. I do think we will end up seeing them again as time goes on when the Switch 2 becomes as old as the Switch 1 has gotten. But for the time being, we will have to say goodbye to our impossible ports for now. And while we say goodbye to our impossible ports, we will also say goodbye to our money because the Switch 2 will be a very expensive generation, unfortunately. Looking back to the time of the Switch 1 generation, it was nice to know that Nintendo stuck by that $59.99 price tag for a grand majority of the time. When Sony was flipping to $70, Nintendo held firm. When Xbox jumped on the bandwagon and went to $70 games, Nintendo, again, was holding the line at $60. Now, yeah, they did go big with Tears of the Kingdom, but they told us that it wouldn't be every game, and they pretty much did hold that promise. Then they come out with $80 for Mario Kart and drop a bomb on everybody, and all of that kind of goodwill or reputation or whatever you want to call that is immediately down the drain. $80 for Mario Kart, $70 for Donkey Kong. Are those games expensive? Yes, they are. Do I have to be happy about it? No, I don't. But will I pay it? And that's I probably will, and here's why. Nintendo has given me, and probably you, so much to love and so much to enjoy, and Nintendo games mean a lot to me. I'm sure they mean a lot to you. It's a lot of money, sure, but it's not enough for me to ditch my lifelong hobby. I'm not going to be the one to get on that train of, I'm not buying a Switch 2 or I'm going to the PC Master Race because of this. No, I'm not there. But I will miss the more affordable games of the Switch 1 generation, at least as a kind of a memory of a bygone era. And finally, I guess on a more unserious note, I'm going to miss the old Donkey Kong. I do like the new one. I actually think he's an improvement, but we don't need to wipe the old Donkey Kong off of the face of the earth. Nintendo pretty much purged him from all of their Switch player icons, and it looks like the old Donkey Kong is officially being laid to rest, or at least from what we can tell now. I mean, think about it. Nintendo has wiped old Donkey Kong off the face of the earth, or the rare design if you want to call it that. Meanwhile, we get a new Link every other game. I mean, he has like 8 different art styles, and they're all perfectly fine. I have no problem with any of that. So I think it's fair to say that we could have a couple Donkey Kongs, right? At least if we get a new Donkey Kong Country or something, we could go back to this rare style, maybe just a little bit to keep everything consistent. So if the new Donkey Kong is truly here to stay permanently, I'm gonna cheers my soda to him because I'm gonna miss you, bro. I wish this was a beer, but it's not. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Let me know what you're gonna miss about the Switch 1 generation, if you agree with anything I said, or if you think I'm just rambling into my phone camera. And if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming content, discussion stuff, collecting stuff, just like this. We are still growing this community, absolutely for sure, and it's been a ton of fun. If you leave a comment, I'm probably gonna respond to you because I love responding to comments, and let's talk. If you heard my cat at all during this video, let me know too, because he was going absolutely crazy during this entire video. I don't think Morgana likes when I talk to the camera, so he's been going absolutely insane during the filming of this video the whole time. So with that, we wish you a good day or a good night, depending on what time it is. Peace.
Stop.